Hello. Sorry, I am just kind of getting settled in here. My power was out for, actually I was saying 3 hours. It's actually probably about 4 hours. So, hey. So yeah, just kind of getting caught up here. It was like right at the end of work. Of course, I didn't miss any work. So, just kind of getting back into getting settled. Just a transformer blew, I think. I heard a loud bang. So, and then all the power went out. So I'm assuming that it was either the transformer blew or it was like somebody ran into a pole or something. It was snowing here, so. But, yeah, so I'm still a little discombobulated here. Apologies. One moment, and then I'll get started. Okay. Alright. Tea should be just about steeped. Not Optimus Prime, not Omega Prime. No Prime at all. So, okay. So I posted a new team yesterday, and I figured I was going to run with that team a little bit today. I didn't get to collect. Oops, I don't want to reinforce, I just want to collect. I didn't want to collect my rewards yet. Or I didn't get a chance to collect my rewards yet. I do have to go ahead. I'm going to put, oops, wrong menu. I won the turkey competition, took first place. So I now have another festive that I can put on Valken. So I am going to remove that. And yeah, I've seen that stuff before. I was thinking I'll probably farm later on or something like that, but I have such a stock of materials and stuff right now, I'm not too worried. So yeah, this is the festive from taking first in the turkey event. So not bad. Defense, attack, +1 energy. It's probably the same as the other ones, I'm assuming. I think my other two are on Zen right now. Come on. So... no. It's different. It's better. It's considerably better than the other ones. So this one is health, defense. That one is much better with defense, attack. That is a damn good rune. I am glad I got that. So that is good. So, but you know, I remember when we had, God, it was back probably 4 months ago, they had, oh really? Jeez, I can only imagine. Well, yeah, I remember there was, I wasn't playing them, but I've heard all sorts of stories about Zen and Kozar, like soloing or duoing everything. But, yeah. So yeah, this team works great. So now I don't have to worry, even round 1, whether or not I get haste. I'll still be able to do, well, I'll still be able to do steel, sharpen steel round 1, which is kind of the important thing. And then if I get hasted second round, once they open up a blue festive again for those of us plebes that don't have one, I'll be able to do the whole team right. So yeah. All right. So the team, did you get a chance to watch the video yet? The one that I posted this morning. So I'll kind of walk through this team. So here, I'm going to want to target. I went through, because I'm targeting with a blue. Okay, well the meta video, oh that's right, the meta video was the one that I did this morning. This team I did last night. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and target Abigail just to help ensure that I get crits, which I've done. And this team just tears shit up. It's so nice. The meta video is mostly just kind of going over that spreadsheet or that graphic. And then there's a link to the spreadsheet that I'll maintain, that I'll kind of adjust as the meta changes. So I am going to use my first 2 abilities to work around Emily. Targeting other heroes to make sure they're all down. I use my second one on Baylog, so that's good. He's down to nothing. And I'm going to use a third one to actually target Emily. Kill Emily. I mean, this team is not very strong. One thing that I've picked up is you always want to, when it comes to Jin's turn, do his second ability first while he's got haste. Not only does it silence the entire enemy team, but it's a massive damage boost. And there you go. So that whole team, Abigail was the only one that even got to act. Sorry, getting my tea settled here. So yeah, that's pretty much this team. I mean, this team is a face roll. The nice thing is with both Jin and Indigo generating so much energy, literally I've had matches where I did 4 or 5 rounds in a row that Valken had 3 turns. So even against really, really tough defensive teams, you can just tear it up. And hello, hello, hello to everybody else that's just joining. If it's your first time, welcome. If it is not your first time, welcome back. We're doing some PvP with the face roll team that I put in that video that came out last night. Also answering questions and just kind of chilling out. So don't be shy. Say hi, ask questions, whatever you need to do. Want to do, feel like doing. I'm still kind of getting settled in here. I got a late start for those that are just joining. My power was out for 2 hours, for almost 4 hours, so. Which is always great in an Ohio winter. Nice. I gave you the defense team of Dagran, Valken, Emily, and Jin. Is that the one that I told you about? Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can swap out Emily and Theron, no problem. That'll absolutely work, depending on really what you're getting attacked by. If you're, like, my roster power on my main is about 525 to 550, depending on who I've got ruined and all that. So I tend to get attacked by, like, the top players and things like that, so I have to sometimes make sure I have a little more survivability. But my alt, who only has about 125 roster power, 125k, at level 80, it's a whole different story. Like, I can be a lot more aggressive. I woke up this morning, checked my my alt account's defense, and he had won like 8 defenses in a row. It was pretty awesome. Suggesting balance changes. I mean, I'd be open to giving it a try. I don't have that kind of influence or anything yet. Matter of fact, I'm not sure the devs are as engaged with the community as they once were. They would probably, I mean, they might see it, who knows. But I'm not established enough yet to really have that kind of pull. I mean, I'm open to doing something like that, and if people want to see it, I mean, absolutely. I have lots of ideas about how they could balance things. To some degree, though, you don't want to balance everything too much, because this constant movement keeps the game fresh, and I mean, it helps the game, it helps them, like, as people need to get new heroes up and things like that. It's just a kind of a balancing act. Like, you want it to be moving, but not moving too fast. Yeah, I mean, there are like the beta team and stuff like that, and my friend, well, I think a lot of you guys found me through Starscream. He, if anybody, would have a better channel to them than I would. I mean, Yeah, I spend a lot of money on the game, but I'm not as established, although I'm starting to get there. But yeah, I mean, I just don't have the clout. I'd be absolutely willing to do it just to give people ideas and stuff like that, but I think the most value that I can bring right now is helping people get better at the game, helping people see the game in new ways, find new ideas, kind of explain a lot of the underlying concepts and things like that really can improve your enjoyment of the game. And if I keep doing stuff like that, and the channel grows and that kind of thing, I mean, then the oh, and speaking of the devil, there he is. Hey, Star, how's it going, man? But yeah, I mean, given enough time, the channel grows. Then yeah, I mean, I think I'd have more clout. But right now, that guy right there, Starscream, he's got a hell of a lot more clout and influence than I do. When I want something, want the devs to hear about something, I tell him. So I'm just the strategy guy. So, okay. You mean you don't have unlimited data? What the hell? I'm not sure what we're doing. I mean, Star, have they reached out to you, or are they just taking our message of the day? I mean, I was going to adjust the message of the day, but it said the motto, and then it said slogan, so I don't know. So yeah, I mean, the top 3 or the top 5 guilds all get to have a motto. Yeah, I figured. I figured if nothing else, it would be like our guild motto would be what they just took, but Star, I don't know if you saw the rune. The 2 festives are actually better than the ones that were in the store. As after this battle's done, I'll show you again. The ones that were in the store for the yellows were health, defense, and +1 energy. The ones for winning, taking first, was defense, attack, +1 energy. Oh, it's so sexy. Such a sexy rune. Alright. And, oh, Kenny lived. Well, not for long. Yeah, I forgot to check the stats on the red one. I went ahead and immediately equipped Valken with it, so I had 3 back on him. But I didn't check the stats on the red one, or I didn't upgrade it. God, this team is so disgusting. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't do top 5, at least top 5. Although Wrath got 2 out of the top 3, so that's pretty damn good. Alright, so yeah, real quick, I'll show you that rune, and I'm going to check on what the stats on the other one were, because it's pretty badass. Or the yellow one was pretty badass. Oops. So yeah, these are the stats for the taking first. So defense, attack, +1 energy. No, I mean, this team is not... I was going to kind of keep this under the cuff, at least for a little bit, but people are talking in general chat about this kind of team, so it's like, it's an open secret anyway, so I was like, well, I might as well get ahead of it and help everybody get ahead of the curve a bit before it becomes completely widespread. And then this festive should be down at the bottom here. Attack, defense. So yeah, this isn't bad either. Attack, defense versus health, attack. Yeah, it's considerably better. Matter of fact, I'm going to swap this out too. And get even more attack on Valken. Where did that other festive go now that I upgraded it? Attack, tech, defense. Zen and Indigo being 5-star is not too big a deal. I mean, Zen just throw as much defense on him. Well, you can't really throw defense because you got to throw festives on him. But if you can get, like, my Zen is set up to be, so I've got the 2 yellow festives on him. I've got a superior festive. This is the health one from the store. And then I've got a superior festive and an unbreakable heart. So he's not altogether tanky, but matter of fact, he's fragile as hell. So I mean, your 5-star Jin is probably not much better or not much worse than my 6-star or Zen, not Jin. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. And then Indigo, you don't need to do damage with Indigo. You need to generate crits. So you get 50% crit on Indigo, and you're fine. So I have my crit is maxed at 50%. I mean, I'm running on Indigo, an Unbreakable Heart, Bulwark, Hero with a little bit of skill that helps the crit, Guardian Rune for defense, and then a crit chance rune. So my stats, I mean, her attack's only 5,500. Not there to do damage. The big thing is that this first ability, I mean, well, first of all, she gets, every time she crits, she gives the whole team 1 energy. And this first ability fires 3 times. So you pretty much, not quite guaranteed, but the next best thing to guarantee, plus it's got a 20% chance for an extra attack. So you've got, figure every 2 battles, or every 2 times she uses the ability, she's probably gonna do 4 attacks. So 4 and 3. Chances are she's gonna crit. Especially if you're careful about not targeting, say, a green hero where you're elementally disadvantaged and not going to crit. You target like a blue hero, a yellow hero, a purple hero, whatever. Red is being ideal. Your chances of critting are a lot higher. But yeah, so I mean, you don't have to have really high star for that. The big thing is getting the energy runes. As long as you can get 4, I mean, really, as long as you can get 3 on Zen, you're not going to likely, unless you crit twice. Elemental thing will increase the damage, but also that's the Blessing of the Seeker. So it increases damage against elementally weak enemies by 15%, but the elemental affinity is going to increase or decrease crit chance and stuff like that as well. Like, I don't know that typically you can actually crit against elementally disadvantaged, because there are certain abilities that actually say you will crit even if you are elementally disadvantaged. Like there was, who was it? I think Ice Pick. One of his abilities. Or maybe it was Sir William. Steel Health, Hailstorm. Nope. Might have been Sir William. It was somebody. I'm trying to remember. But they would, if they get crit, it might be Sir William. Because if he gets crit, I think he then... Or, you know, maybe that was one of his passives. Aegis Shield. Here, right here, exactly what I meant. So any crit on this hero will cause him to crit on his next action, even if he's elementally disadvantaged. So this, to me, says if you're elementally disadvantaged, you wouldn't normally crit. Yeah, tit for tat, exactly. So that was the one I was thinking of. But yeah, that's basically what why I always just make sure that I don't target green heroes with my blue archer. So, but yeah, you should be able to do just fine with how even probably 4-star. Just make sure you rune them for survival. So I'm just looking for, once I can get one more, once I can get a blue rune, technically I could get rid of indigo, or at least I wouldn't be relying on indigo. Indigo is like vastly growing on me, because I'm never, between Jin and indigo, I am never out of energy. I can just keep on attacking all my specials all the times. Suppose I should look at the team. I'm sitting here talking and not realizing, paying attention when I'm attacking. And that's fine. So I have no choice, but at least Falcon is neutral. Should have got a crit, I did. And starts the roller coaster. Or the gravy train, or whatever you want to call it. All aboard the pain train. Oh. And I love the fact that every time Agnon goes for Jin, because Jin is hasted, he gets all that extra evade. It's friggin' awesome. And down they fall, just like toy soldiers. Oh, one of them lived? Unacceptable. So yeah, I mean, you can just rack up, like, before you know it. So, okay, now we're going against Jin, and even though this isn't, like, an extremely strong team, I'm going to go ahead and swap Jin out for Craw. And overall, and my phone is ringing and I can't get to it. Okay, thanks, man. Good to see you. Thanks for coming out. Craw is great. I prefer Jin because Jin has that little bit of extra damage and shuts down the team's offense, but you can still do all of your attacks this way without having to worry about anything. So fortunately I've got a red hero for 3 straight crits. And this will just be a matter of wiping through. Oh, Agnon. I love Cross so much. Tell you, the last 2 heroes, Gibber was really garbage, but Craw and Jin, both awesome S-level heroes. The rework that they did for Ember was just great. The Phenol rework, I mean, he was kind of a turd to begin with, but he's at least usable now. Yeah, I mean, they've been, as far as new heroes, they've been doing pretty well. A lot of these heroes get kind of like, people look at them first and they're like, what? That's no good. And I look at them and I'm like, ooh, that is good. So, Eve Iris. Iris is a great hero. I love Iris. So, that's a skin I haven't seen before. Probably because it's on a hero that I would never use. So at this point I go ahead and just put Jin back. Or actually, since there's no Jin and no nothing that I have to worry about. I can actually just throw Therend in. And Therend with this team is just disgusting. Alright, that's plenty of crits. Take him out first. Yeah. How would I rune Zom? I typically do one of two things with Zom. Either I do pretty balanced offense and defense, generally with a tank rune on him, or I will go ridiculously heavy defense with a tank rune. So my Zom isn't ruined right now. I'll show you a few examples after this battle. We'll go and kind of workshop a little bit. Which the battle is conveniently over. So, oops. So I'm not normally into skins, but they had all of that ridiculous number of skins available. It's just like, drag. Well, 8K defense is not very high. So I would say, let me find, so an elite bulwark, that's attack, community rune. Alright, so this would be one rune that I would use. So 650 defense, 325 defense, basically just under 1,000 defense, 775 health, and 10% damage reduction. Then the purple tank runes are not that great, so I will probably put a green tank rune on them. Hero rune, bulwark. I don't want to put stacks of damage reduction. I just want that one damage reduction. So the healer rune, not all that great. Here we go. So this isn't bad, although defense is a little bit low. Let me check and just make sure I don't have anything better. 541, no. Warrior rune, not for Zom, although he's not bad with warrior runes. Hell, I'll swap Zom in instead of, I'll run Zom instead of Therend with that team and show you that Zom can still be alright. Guild rune. Alright, so I guess it's a bulwark. Defense. Battle. Hero. So we'll go with this hero. So far, we're at 5,600 attack and 8026 defense. For the green rune, I'm going to go ahead and throw the tank rune for a whole bunch more defense. And already that takes him to almost 15k defense. And here I will probably take... Don't really need a festive on Zom. I have an elite version of this. So attack, defense, that's over 1,000 attack, almost 1,100 attack, and some defense. So I'll go ahead and take that one. And then cap it off. I don't want to necessarily throw an Unbreakable Heart on him, so we'll just drop some more defense. This isn't bad. So this champion rune. So defense, skill, which is going to improve his lifesteal and heals and stuff like that, and his chance to crit. So all in all, this would probably be what I would look for in a Zom. So, okay, man. Thanks for stopping out. I'll be here for a while if you feel like coming back, but I'll talk to you soon. So we're running around 8,800 attack, just under 20,000 defense, 3,000 skill, 17,000 health, so 50% crit. So this would be probably your most reliable version of Zom. If you're going for, I mean, he's not strong in the meta right now. He's not a bad hero by any stretch, and he's at lower levels. You're not going to get these numbers at lower levels. And I do have his epic as maxed. But that's basically how I would kind of put him together. So does that answer your question? Yeah, I mean, that's why. He's not meant to be a big offensive character. So I'll go ahead and throw him in here on this team. I mean, he can still be a damage dealer, but the big thing is he's going to be using the taunt and drawing all the attack on him, and then he's going to be doing follow-up attacks. Although with this team, it really doesn't matter because he's not going to really do a whole bunch of follow-up attacks, except he just lost taunt. Target a red hero, get my crit, thus energy, and just start wiping things out. So Zom wasn't really influential in that battle, but he'd actually work in this. I'll go ahead and take him for this. Well, no, I need to silence them, so I'm going to take Jin for this one. But my Jin does the same thing. Very heavily runed for defense, and has a taunt rune. What level is your main hunter? Oh, I mean, that's not too bad. I mean, the sooner you can get to 80, the better, but 64 isn't terrible. I mean, really, you could probably get, if you were, especially if, like, right now, while there's the bonus XP, the bigger bonus XP, I mean, you could probably get to 80 in a day, like in an evening. I waited till Tuesday each week with the double XP on my alt. And yeah, so you got 3x player XP right now. Now's the time to grind up. Just stock up on stamina and loot keys and just spam. And then you're going to be getting a whole bunch of materials right now too, and a whole bunch of gold. So yeah, you got 4x materials and then 3x materials. This multiplies, so you got 12x materials. This is when you want to be going and farming. Like right now, that's what I would do. Would be grinding your hero all the way up. Kai, Astrid Furnace, Solaris, Grog. So if you look at my meta video, I posted a video earlier today. Nice. Yeah, and if you have, if your shop, like if you're short on loot keys, if you still have leftover turkeys, you can buy loot keys. Like I'm gonna end up having to spam a metric crap ton of them. Yeah, I mean, this is a great place to get loot keys while the event, like in the next day. Yeah. So I would look at the meta video though. There's a link to a spreadsheet, but you really want to focus on the heroes that are primarily really high in that list. So actually I've got a copy of it I can at least kind of reference. But I mean, the important heroes are going to be like Jinlei, Craw, Deadeye, Emily, Valken, Zen. Actually, I can probably do this, and then this, and then because OBS is kind of cool, I can do that, and there we go. So this is the spreadsheet that I'm talking about. So I mean, your SS and S heroes and A heroes. So I mean, Zom is still viable. He's still an A. Solaris. Really, if you can get like Sifu and Valken and Therend, Dagrind. Why I couldn't think of Dagrind. Dagrind's an important hero to have because he clears debuffs, so he'll clear Jin's silence. But you get Dagrind, Sifu, Valken, and Therend. Or you can do Valken and Jin. And it's a really solid, pretty quick offensive team. Let me check out my Sifu. Let me see how my heroes are ruined. I can actually show you that team. So I pulled, what did I pull off of my Dagrind? Probably pulled an Unbreakable Heart, so I can probably just throw... Yeah, you really need to get Valken. And the next time he's available in the Hero Portal, jump on it. Like, get Valken, get him leveled up, or get him starred up as quickly as possible. Valken is an indispensable hero. You're crippled if you don't have him. You really, really, really want to have... Oh, and I'm sitting here pointing at Valken and I'm on the wrong... One moment... Yeah, I mean, you really have to have Valken. You can get around not having Valken, although now with Jin, you really need to have Valken anyways. So teams that aren't dwarf heavy, the problem is if you don't have Dagrind, which, do you have Dagrind? If you do have Dagrind, you need to have Dagrind going. Otherwise, you have to have Craw. It's like one or the other, Dagrind or Craw, for facing Jin teams. Otherwise, you're just going to get smoked. At 64, you probably won't run into too many of those, but you don't want to be 64 for long. So get your Craw when you can, get Jin leveled up as you can, get Valken leveled up as you can. Get Dagrand, Therend leveled up as you can. Emily leveled up as you can. Lily is always good to have, but not an absolute requirement. With the current meta, like I said, Indigo is good in the current meta. Furno is good to have. Agnon is good to have. Deadeye is good to have. Zen is important. Ember is a great hero. Marrow is in the, or was in the portal right now. Marrow's not bad. Yeah, I mean, you'll get Hagram. I mean, well, that just, you're basically, you're getting your crowns every week, and I mean, that's yeah, as long as you're in a guild that's getting crowns, you're going to get Hagram tokens, or you're going to get Gibber tokens if you get extra. But yeah, Hagram is a great hero. I'm not using him right now because the problem with fast heroes is that it absolutely requires Craw if you're going to run fast heroes against Jin. So that's a concern. And I can only cram so many heroes onto a team. But Hagram is definitely a great hero. A great team, by the way, is Deadeye, Ember, Hagram, and Valken. I ran that for a long time. And I was using this to beat dwarf teams. Foresight for Craw, yeah, it blocks Jin's silence. Yeah, I kept calling it Insight, I think, on the video. It's Foresight. Yeah, people will forgive me, or they won't. But yeah, it's not a bad team. Deadeye is a great hero. Not a big damage dealer, but he's high utility. And Ember is just all around great. Good damage, good utility, AE damage, rezzing, healing, like attack buff, everything like that. Followed by Hagram, so your first 3 heroes are fast. Yeah, I mean, it's... You're probably going to have to make do some with what you have, and that's going to be probably a lot of undead or beast heroes. Yeah, but work with what you have, but make it a point to get these other heroes. For where you're at right now, although with Jin it's going to be a little harder, but Gortusk and Lily and Agnon and Furno is a solid team. Not necessarily in that order, you have to mix the order up, but that uses common, readily available heroes, so that's not too bad. I mean, you can do a beast team with like Solaris and Leo, throw taunt on, like, Gortusk would have taunt, so you do Solaris, Leo, Gortusk, and like Bovis or something like that. Yeah, I never watched, I've seen his videos. I don't know that if he's still actively making them right now. I know at least a while ago Darth Craig was. But yeah, I never watched Zombies when they were new, so, yeah, I'm not sure. Koros is good. It's hard to make a defensive Koros, though, because of the runes. Like, you can do 2 green defensive runes, but there's almost no red defensive runes. So, like, the best that I'd be able to manage would probably be, like, okay, I've got the elite hero here. Battle hero, that's a superior. Do I have another elite? Another elite hero. I think that's always how I end up doing it, is trying to get as many of these heroes that have the defense on them. Oh, well, I mean, you can get defense. Yeah, like... There you go. I mean, there's a Koros with 13,000 defense. Yeah, the days of Koros wiping everybody are past. Doesn't happen very much anymore. Not against teams that are worth the crap. Like, I haven't come up. I used to, when I very first started, I used to be afraid of Koros. Not so much anymore. Like, oh look, it's Koros. How cute. Yeah, I mean, even then, like, his attack is kind of weak. I mean, he just doesn't... He's good against highly magical teams, but there's not very many teams that are any good that are highly magical. So he's going to purge... Like, you don't want to take an undead team up against Koros. Like your Shade, he's going to purge Shade's life link, and he's going to just get rid of buffs and magic and tons of things like that. You don't want to really take Koros up against take barbarians up against Koros, but Valken, Gortusk, Koros, Emily, yeah, that's probably about right. But yeah, the dwarf teams when they first came out weren't all that strong. It was only after about 3 or 4 weeks that people really started getting strong dwarves. Like, at first, I remember I wasn't even in Final Boss yet, let alone when we merged into Wrath. But my guild was looking at it, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I'm still not going to use dwarves because they suck." And then it turns out, a month later, all you see is dwarves. But so, let me clear some of these runes off while I'm in here. Because I like throwing away millions of gold at a time. No biggie. Oh, I've easily made 200 million gold in the last week on that stupid event. But it was worth it. So yeah, Sifu's good to have. If you can get 2 festives on him, like I could put a red festive back on him. Because then you can do his, and then you pair him up with warriors. You just DPS the ever-living crap out of it. Hey Gnome, how's it going? I mean, really, yeah. I mean, Solaris, you have to be careful on the timing on Solaris. Other than that, like, you'll see Solaris, Emily, Leo, and Gortusk. Or, yeah, get Hopper. Ember is great for burning corpses, but the thing is, Hopper, you're not going to get the round 1 of the beasts because the feather is going to prevent Hopper from eating the corpse. So yeah, Koros will purge the feather, and then Hopper will hit the corpses. But I don't even bother with stuff like that anymore. Like, you make sure you kill Leo first. You save Solaris and 1 other hero for last. So you probably kill Leo, then Emily. Then you leave that mysterious last hero and Solaris until you can kill them both in the same turn, and then you just drop them. It's really not all that hard unless you're running a very DPS light. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you get dwarfs on steroids, like this team would absolutely, the team that I'm running now would absolutely obliterate a team like that because they can act so many times. But yeah, against those things, you don't have to worry. I mean, even I think the worst possible combination you might face would be like Emily, Solaris, Leo, and like Valken or something like that. I mean, that could be kind of ugly, but you're not going to run into that. So, although I might throw that together on my alt just cause. as far as defense, since we were talking defenses, this is what I've kind of changed my defense to now. I was getting beat with the one that I suggested to you, Abraham. But like I said, I'm running into like top tier. I mean, not all of these people are, but like Pooper and Kaiser Soze, and although I managed to take his defense apart in return, but I'm running into a lot of like the top potatoes, the top underworld, the top AOA, like things like that, and they were kind of taking that defense apart. So now, oh yeah, I mean, people in general chat, I either like occasionally I'll put them in their place, or I'll just make fun of them until they stop. But yeah, it's not worth it. Like, people are going to talk in general chat. They're morons, or they've been told something, and I don't even engage with those people. But I switched to this now, and this has actually been working really well for defense, because you've got the silence, you've got stopping the enemy silence. So even if they run Jin trying to counteract it, your silence is never even going to happen. And then the synergies here works out really well. Exactly. Yeah. But I can't lose with him now at level 10 or level 20 in PvP. It's like, yeah, alright, whatever, guy. Exactly. So actually right now I'll show you a little trick if you don't want to be bothered by the idiots in general chat. Change your chat language to something you don't speak. Mine is set to French right now. Like, so there's very little chat in French, so I don't have to see any of it, and if there is any, I don't understand it. So Craw was always OP. I had Craw on as in high A, low S since he came out. I mean, even before Jin, he's always been a really strong hero. I was using him to really good effect on undead teams with Shade and when they redid Braum. Braum's actually not terrible with the right team. I was actually owning quite a bit for about a week or two with teams like that. Just pure dark teams. But he does a lot of damage. And he consistently does a lot of damage, and he brings a good amount of utility, and his heal is really strong. Now he's always been good. I mean, I think that they look at the point counterpoint, like Jin and Craw are kind of opposites of each other, but they're not. It's not like beasts and goblins or something like that. So, and no, I don't think they released Jin just for Craw, though. I think they were probably planning on something like that anyways. So this team here, here's Goros. I'm going to go ahead and switch back to Theron because there's no reason not to. So I always run Jin against really strong dwarf teams, Dwarf Emily, like with a Rezer. I will run Craw against Jin, and I'll try to run Theron on everything else. So we'll kill Goros right now. Oh, nope, not quite. Well, we'll kill him now. So he rarely even gets to attack, so I'm happy. I mean, the dwarves really didn't need more of a boost. Really didn't need more of a boost. Although Jin has kind of put them back down to size, but God, I love that extra attacks. Did anybody on his team get to act? I don't think so. Oh no, he did attack my, he had his first character. Attacked my, yeah, Shade. Shade attacked Zen. But no, definitely happy that Theron didn't get an OP skin. Really, the Drax skin, I got the Drax skin before they made it freaking $20 or $30. I got the Drax skin and I barely use it. Like, it doesn't change him all that much. It's a little bit of an attack bonus. The Lily skin is great. But I've also got like the Epic and everything else, so I mean it's just disgusting. Oh, for you, Hunter, I would definitely recommend getting definitely recommend getting Furno and getting him up there. He's a good solid hero at your level. I mean, he's a good solid hero at 80, but only on certain teams. But his damage reduction or his damage debuff is really good. Yeah, like I was saying though, the Drac skin, the Drac Ultimate skin really isn't that big a deal. The healing penalty I think is worse or is more of a penalty than the benefit you get from the extra defense. The Lily skin is a little bit OP. I will not argue that. Really wish they'd fix this display bug. I like the correct Deep One skin just because I'm a fan of Lovecraft, so the Deep Ones reference is pretty awesome. He's never one-shot any of your heroes. Which heroes never one-shot any of your heroes? Oh, Craw has never one-shot any of your heroes? Is that what you mean? Oh, or Furno. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to keep up. I've got haste, so I'll go ahead and do Future Sight. And I've only got one hero left. Yeah, I mean, he's not necessarily a one-shotting character. He will one-shot heroes. But it's not as common. It's especially common if you pair him with Agnon, though. Because Agnon, his third ability, or second... No, Furno's third ability gives Agnon a big attack boost. So you combine the two of those, you do the smoke ability, and then you follow it up with Agnon right after that, and it's pretty gruesome. But they make a good team, and then you get the Gore-Tusk and the Lily. The Lily is great for just that overall churn of consistent damage and draining of breaking of shields and all that other stuff. And then healing and DPS, and then Gore-Tusk just to get punched in the face a bunch. So, let's see. So, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'm having fun doing it, and I like teaching. I like running through stuff, explaining stuff. So if you guys keep liking it, I will keep doing it. I have a lot of fun with this. Yeah, exactly. Like choking smoke with Agnon on the board and not in stone form is pretty disgusting. So why would they do a team like this? So I'm betting he's taunting. I bet. Champion rune, hero rune, breakable heart, warrior rune. What? Alright, so this guy's just throwing his highest powered heroes together. in a team. Alright, I'm not too worried about this. We'll swap Therend in and just go kick some butt. So one of the things I was thinking, or along the lines of, like, I've got the team spotlight, I've got the commentated battles, like the one that I did with Anubis's team, which, I mean, he enjoyed. It was fun doing that one. Doing like the hero spotlights and that kind of thing. I was thinking about like recording a bunch of the defenses that I have, and then either going, or like the defensive victories and losses, and kind of doing the whole like react format, where like, okay, I react to what people are sending against me, or whatever, or just even try to like do some analysis on what people are sending against me, like what I think they're trying to do, that kind of stuff. Gorgons, reptiles, so the short answer is sometimes they can be good. The long answer is Unbreakable Heart runes really killed the ability for Gorgon teams to be strong. It used to be that you would run Viperia with, or you'd run Abby, Viperia, Krex, and Lily. And Lily would provide, to green heroes, she would provide like 15% armor piercing. The Abby is going to provide that 85% damage buff. Krex is going to taunt when he's on the team with a Gorgon, and when he dies, he makes Viperia invincible. And then Viperia, with all that, the buff and everything else, and you ruin her heavily, like all attack. You would use her against teams like Emily, Daggerand, Falcon, and Therend. Something along those lines, because the teams that are really heavily armored, or Gortusk, or heavily defensed Zom, and things like that, you would use them like that, because as soon as you got that attack buff off, you had the stuff from Lily, you would do Snakes on the Plains, and she would just one-shot the entire offense. Or defense, or whatever, like the entire opposition. With Unbreakable Hearts, what you're going to get is you're not going to quite, because there's 3 waves of snakes, that's 3 attacks on every hero. The 3 waves of snakes. So Emily, it used to be the first wave would break the bubble, second wave would do like most of the damage, third wave would kill her. Unbreakable Heart, you need a 4th or a 5th wave, because she's going to be left at 1 hit point. If you have Emily still standing after Snakes on the Plains, 95% of the time, you've lost the battle. She's going to res Valken. Valken's going to come back and kick your ass. You're not really meant... That team isn't really meant for long fights. So the long answer then is they can be against very ill-prepared enemies, but nowadays Unbreakable Heart doesn't, like, it kind of stops Gorgons from being worthwhile. So I do like mixing teams, yes. I am always looking for... I'm always trying to blaze a trail. I've always been that type of person. I want to find new connections, new teams, new strategies, things like that. So I'm always mixing things up. I'm also very heavily analyzing the meta all the time, trying to find like weaknesses in whatever I'm facing all the time. I'm trying to take that information and build teams that can beat all of these things that we're facing, get that information out into the hands of my guild mates, And then they can go out there and kick butt in PvP. I can go out there and kick butt in PvP. And then now I can make videos and teach you guys about it and stuff like that. So I don't ever like to rely on things that everybody knows. So everybody knows Indigo's a shitty tune. But no, she's actually not a bad tune when used properly. Gorgon Crex, Rocky on defense. Yeah, I mean, that kind of thing. I don't think, I mean, the problem is that Viperia just doesn't have enough oomph to push past. Like, they don't have the longevity, and I mean, I'm willing to explore the idea and test it and whatever, but I don't really see it taking off. Not that I'm making an assumption that it won't, but based on, I've tried to set that team up with some variations and make it work, because I'm tired of dwarves, I'm tired of barbarians, I'm tired of beasts. That's why teams like this are so much fun for me, because I can just put something new together that takes advantage of the way everything is working right now and just twist it to my benefit. Like, I've got a problem, I don't have enough festive runes to get 5 festive runes on my Zen so that I can do this round 1. But, oh look, I can get energy from Indigo. So that's why I'll do all these other teams. And for a long time, I only started playing the game in July. So, oh yeah, the 12... if I actually have time to capitalize on it. My power was out and all that, so I probably won't, but I only started playing in July, and I started playing in July right after the same weekend that blue-green battle was going on. I had been playing that week leading into that weekend. So by that point I was like level 30, something like that. I didn't get any of the blue or green festive runes at that point. So I had no festives, I had no tank runes until the event where they released the green ones. That was the first festives I ever got. And then I couldn't put the green tank rune on Valken. And to this day I still only have green and purple tank runes. So I've constantly and I'm very competitive and that kind of thing. Like, I really want to do very well, and I had to find ways to beat these teams that had runes that made mine look stupid. So a lot of that came down to just finding creative ways to use heroes to overcome the deficits and everything like that. So and that habit just kind of picked up, and I've always done that kind of thing with games that I play anyways, like always not necessarily trying to like exploit the way the mechanics of the game, but maximize them for my own like benefit. So Dungeon Boss has got me hooked for things like that. And the fact that I can actually put together teams like this that do well, it's all the better. So that was all it really took. 12x materials is definitely nice, though. I'm gonna have to look and see what I'm low on. I don't really have a lot that I don't have a bunch of right now, but I'll definitely take a look, and I'm sure I'm gonna farm them up. Alright, so let's turn this around. So you guys have been watching me play. Hopefully you've seen the videos. What do I run against this team? What do you guys think? And there's definitely a couple of like viable options, definitely, but what do you guys think? Craw is definitely one option, but I'm talking like all 4 slots. So Craw is a definite option because Jin's here. You're going to counter Craw. You can also go Dagrind is the other option. So facing Jin, you're always going to want to either have Dagrind or Craw. Dagrind always needs to be in the first slot if you're going to run it. So Lily, Craw, Valken, Dagrind, you probably want to put that the opposite way. Although Dagrind, if you've got Craw, you probably don't want to run Dagrind because it's kind of overkill. You can take if you've got Craw, you could throw in, even with Lily, say against this, you want to reduce the incoming damage. So Valken, Jin, Indigo, Dagrind, yeah. So what I could easily take this team and just throw Craw, but that's what we've been doing, so I mean that's kind of boring. This team would beat this team. What else I could do would be I could go with Dagrind first. I could put where is he? He's further down. Sifu, Valken, and Emily. Or I could put Valken and Therend. So the big thing here is his Dagrind's going to go, so there's no point in me taking Jin. I mean, I could go Jin, but his Valken, his Dagrind is going to cleanse right after mine, or before I even get to act. So I tell you what, just as a joke, I will. I'll challenge accepted that. Challenge accepted. All right. Elite Bulwark. It's going to be even funnier when I win. That works. That works. And, oop, now do I have a... Yeah, so we'll swap this one out for the tank rune. And we will throw in, I think I've got a grater, yeah, that's plenty. 23,000 defense, 5084 offense, 15 grand health. So, oops, I need to make sure Dagrind is ruined, Sifu is ruined fully. He's missing a red rune. I'll throw that festive on him so that he's got the 2. And we should be good to go. All right. So Dagrind, Sifu, Valken, Alexandros. Okay, so I at least cleansed the debuff on them. I cleansed the wounded on himself, so I'm gonna kill his Jin. So this is why typically I would take Jim, but no, he's not really a tank. Although he did take all that pounding from a bunch of dwarves, but I'm gonna try to kill his Valken, but I'll still win with him having been on the team. At least I might still win with him having been on the team. How is he doing that again? God damn it. Energy rune. Shit. Okay, well, this will be alright. Damn it. I just never got to use his friggin' ability. That sucks. This is round 2. I really need an epic proc. I desperately... nope. I tried. Probably wasn't the best team to take him against. I don't care. Alright. But we have fun with it. That's the point. So yeah, I'll run this for a little bit. This is what I was running before I started doing the Zen team. So this is a really solid team, and this is very easy to achieve. Valken has 3 festives. Sifu has 2 festives. The rest don't really matter. Meta heroes from the beginning. I mean, like, what era? Or what heroes? Like, Astrid and, Kozar and heroes like that. I mean, I think the ones now would definitely win, to basically answer your question. So, this is the crux of this defense, is Warrior's Chi. Haste himself, and all of his warriors. I mean, she's still there, but she's not all that strong. Bovis you could still use. He's still viable on a beast team. Kai is still viable as like a watered down, no pun intended, version of Deadeye. A lot of times people use Kai if they don't have like a well set up Deadeye. Furnace, I don't know. I don't really like Furnace all that much, but I mean, it's potentially viable. So Valken, oops, if I can select Valken. Valken got hasted from Sifu, and then now we're going to kick off haste for the entire party. So you can do this without having Zen, without having Indigo. Jin is there just to silence, so you could have a 1-star Jin. Matter of fact, if I were to pull up my alt right now, that's what I'm basically running, is this team with a, I think it's a 4-star Jin. Valken is 5-star, 3-star Dagrind, and a 4 or 5, maybe 6. I think it's 5-star Sifu. So, I mean, this team is definitely buildable and achievable without a whole bunch of stuff. This team is really strong. We'll run a few more just to kind of show you. So, yeah, here we go. That team should obliterate this one. Although I say that and then I'll get beat, but... Another really sick team is, although you can't really use it, well, you could use it with Jin and Craw, is Deadeye, Valken, Jin, and Craw. Just because all of the... Matter of fact, I'll show you guys some of those too. You get the honor-bound synergy between Jin and Deadeye. You've got 3 ranged heroes on the team, so Deadeye's Bring It Down is going to cause follow-up attacks with all of them. And then you've also got all of Valken's attacks and all that kind of stuff, so that's not a bad team either. And then another variation on this one is you swap out Sifu for Agnon. Agnon goes first, then Dagrand, then Valken, then Jin. I'll show you guys that one too. It's a friggin' awesome team. So here I'm gonna go ahead and just Dwarven Smackdown to try to get him out of the way early. I was kind of hoping that wouldn't happen. I should have gone up against Valken. I'm going to attack him just because he doesn't... Apparently he did have an Aegis Shield. Alright. This is no good because I got frozen. And are they ever going to stop attacking him? Nope. No bueno. That's alright. Yeah, Sume, I wouldn't use Sume though. Kill this bastard again. But I'm gonna lose this battle, so. Now the epic procs from this nobody else around. Yeah. So, I mean, you're gonna get occasionally. You're not gonna win every battle. I don't even win every battle, so. Let me just make sure that that these other heroes are set up too. We are looking for Agnon, and we are looking for Deadeye. So Deadeye is set up. So Deadeye, you pretty much just rune defensively. He doesn't need much more than that. I've got an Unbreakable Heart. I've got 2 warrior runes on him just for the follow-up attacks. Guardian rune, and then the Honor-bound rune for attack. Because I have like 50 of these and not enough heroes to put them on. And then Agnon, who is probably past it. Nope, there we go. And so I've got 3 Festives on Agnon so that he can do Terror Storm right away. And that's the big deal with him. So 3 Festives, I throw a Healer Rune, and an Unbreakable Heart. So we'll run through these variations. Iris, we'll do that before I get into the battle since I've got Iris runed. I try to throw a couple of Festives on Iris. She doesn't need, I mean, you can do 3, but I don't know that it's absolutely required. Where is Iris? There we go. So basically, I took the runes that were on Iris and just moved them to Craw. So that's basically, I've got 3 Festives on Craw. I have a lot of Festives now. 3 Festives on Craw, attack, defense, and an Unbreakable Heart. But this effectively is exactly what I would do for Iris as well. This gives her or him access to all of their abilities round 1. The stats, they're very similar stats. Like her stats end up right around here. She's right around 8,500, maybe a little bit higher across the board, but really balanced. It also kind of depends on who you're running Iris with, whether or not you've got a taunt rune on somebody else. I've even thrown a taunt rune on Iris. Iris, if you've got heroes that are doing buffs, like you get Iris and Malice together, oh, it's sick. Or, I mean, even Abby or Ember, who are throwing out offensive buffs. You start getting Craw throwing insight, like all of the other things. Once Iris starts getting buffs on her, oh, it just gets disgusting. I've had both Iris and Craw stood alone against entire teams. Or against, like, Zom with a full team full of Zaminions and just taking them down. So, in general, that's what I would do. Kind of throw the Festas out there, as many as you can, and then just kind of balance the offense and defense. Alright, so not a huge rune power on the team, so I'm going to do the Agnon team for this one. And when it works right, this Agnon team is disgusting. So it's Agnon, Dagrand, Valken, and Jin. Okay, yeah, and my Jin is a friggin' tank. So you're gonna start with Terror Storm and watch what happens. Oh, I'm frozen. God damn it. Usually what happens when he's not frozen is he does a follow-up attack for every one of those, and the whole team gets wiped in like no time. I'm gonna go ahead and haste Jin. And there you can see he just starts dropping them. I go ahead and kill Valken. And since he's hasted, always with Jin, if you have haste, pop this ability first. The second ability that starts powered without any festives. And then destroy. Shield piercing just absolutely obliterates. Jin is probably the single highest damage character in the game. Probably, if not Jin, Craw. Like, they are both, they have the potential to do so much damage. So much damage. In the Jin event, my Jin, the highest single hit that I got against the boss was 42 million, something like that. 44 million was the highest single hit I got against the boss. I mean, just absolutely ridiculous. So we'll try this particular configuration again. I have no idea in terms of the next hero. I hope they don't release another one for a little while. They have so many heroes they could revamp, and they did a pretty good job revamping, like Ember. I mean, she's so useful now. I mean, they could rework a number of heroes instead of releasing new ones. Like, it's a good balance to kind of do a bit of both. Alright, so we'll do the same thing again. Terror Storm. Jin follows up and just wrecks. We'll go ahead and just kill Solaris just because at this point I'm not even going to bother hasting and everything because they're going to survive till the end anyways. I'm just going to freeze them. And I'm not hasted, so I'm just going to do the regular attack. They're dead. 1 round, done. So this team is really strong. You're not going to beat absolutely everything with it. If your Agnon somehow doesn't do a bunch of damage, or something goes wrong, that's when you're probably not going to win. But when this thing's working, you can just crank through. This is a really good, just sitting down, like, okay, this team I shouldn't have too much of a problem with. Come on. But this is a real easy, just getting a 20 streak kind of team. Like, as soon as the PvP season flips, throw this team together, run it for a 20 streak, and then you're Legend 1 from Legend 2. Or you're up to whatever from wherever. It's really simple to just kind of go through. So see, he didn't hit very hard here, so I have to make sure now that I haste Valken. And I need to get rid of that Therend. And now I need to get rid of that Valken. And I'm hasted, so I'm going to silence everybody but Valken. So Lily's the only one left, and she is silenced and frozen. So, boom, done. That was not a slouch team. Death Blossom. Is it that bad or that good? I really haven't looked for a lot of YouTubers for Dungeon Boss because having been in a guild with Starscream, it's like, I mean, he was putting together like top-notch content, and then he's kind of slowed down, but he and I are planning on doing some collaborative stuff or some streaming or some stuff going forward. But yeah, I mean, I just haven't dug around too much. I wasn't overly happy with a lot of what was out there. I'm not going to talk bad about anybody in particular, but yeah, I just wasn't overly happy with it, so it was kind of like, yeah, I'll start doing it myself. I'm also considering doing streaming and videos on some other games and stuff that I like. Not like I'm going to keep doing Dungeon Boss as a primary, but yeah, I'm thinking of doing some of the other games, some of the off-the-wall strategy games and stuff that I play on PC. So that was one of the defenses. All right, I'm gonna do the same one for this team, because this is just gonna be obnoxious otherwise. Jeez. Do I think they'll expand the dragon tag? I mean, eventually. Depends on how long the game lasts. I don't know why they haven't already. I mean, at that point, they should just make him a friggin' reptile or a beast or something, or a monster. They should probably just make him a monster, because then he'd have synergy with other heroes. But I don't need that. Just gonna freeze. But yeah, I mean, I think if they do expand the dragon thing, it won't be soon. I've heard some rumors about what might be coming in some areas. I don't want to speculate on that until it actually starts getting closer or gets announced. So So, okay. This would be a good team. We will swap out so we can use Deadeye, and we don't need Dagrind for this, so we can use Deadeye. We'll go ahead and use Sifu. I wish Sifu was honor bound. And then we'll use Valken, and then we'll use Jin. Yeah, that works. Alright, Connor. Have a great night. Thank you. Appreciate it. So the big thing here that Deadeye is here for. So when you're running Deadeye and Jin, typically Deadeye would normally start using Solar Shot, and I would Solar Shot Balog, because I want to stop Balog from doing his silence attack. He can't do his silence attack round 1 because of Jin, so I'm going to go ahead instead and use Bring It Down. So really I probably should have put Craw back in here. But whatever, it's not too big a deal. So I'm going to be doing an attack. So Bring It Down causes all ranged allies to do a follow-up. So I'm going to go ahead and start and probably just bring down Shade. Except I have to actually hit him for that to proc. Alright. Having Sifu here against Barbs is probably good anyways, because he'll finish off Barbs. And I should be hasted. I am hasted, so... And I'm hasted. Easy peasy. So I'm going to go ahead for this next one. I'm going to do the same lineup if the team is conducive for it. Let's see. Which it is, except I am going to swap out him for him. So now I've got 3 ranged heroes. This one is definitely easy to achieve as well. Therend is primarily attack with a couple of warrior runes on him for extra attacks. So once again, enemy team is silenced. So the other nice thing about Deadeye is that he ignores taunt. So right now, I can say, Bring It Down on Emily. And Emily is half dead already. So now, I do Steel Sharpened Steel. Valken's dead. Drop this in here. Thanks, Hunter. Hope to see you around soon. Thanks for coming out and participating. Appreciate it. And yeah. So now here, I want to make sure that probably that Abby doesn't get her big attack off. So I Solar Shot, get her killed. Kill Drac. And done and done. So yeah, 3 teams here that are easy to assemble and very strong. So who's left? What do you guys want to see? You want to see more just general PvP, PvPing with some of these more accessible teams, PvPing with my Uber team, answer questions? What do you want to see? I'll probably go for another 20-25 minutes. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'll float around a few of these teams, just show you some different approaches to some different teams, but just kind of doing my thing here. So once again, so this team is that ranged pull team, so I'll use Bring It Down on Valken. Finish Valken off. I started in like the second week of July. So in the scheme of things, there's people that have been playing the game a lot longer than I have. But I've been playing strategy games for quite a while. So like quite a while. So yeah, when that blue-green event happened, that weekend that the blue-green event happened was the weekend that was kind of following the first week that I played. So, and then since then I've managed to spend quite a bit of cash and get my roster. I mean, I have a complete roster. I've got really nice runes now, finally. And I'm competing against like top players, so yeah, I love it. It's a lot of fun. It's a great guild and great people that I'm working with, and I love doing this stuff, helping you guys out and showing off teams and giving you guys ideas and getting your feedback and answering questions, and so good times. This will actually work for this team. We're gonna do this. So his Dagrin is out of place to go against Jin. Nice. Yeah, I mean it's a great game. I mean, it's got its problems like any other. I really don't like how until you get certain types of runes that aren't available all that often, that it's really difficult to be competitive. But then again, I mean, my alt is level 80. I've only had the alt about maybe 50 days, something like that, so almost 2 months, and I've got festives and tank runes and all that other stuff on the alt too, so I mean it's not too bad, but yeah, it's kind of, you can't do all the things right away. But yeah, so this one, so you really, his order is the traditional kind of order for this team. This should really, his Dagrin should be in first position, then Valken, then Emily, then Therend. There's a couple of reasons for that. One, by having Dagrin third, both Valken and Emily are going to be silenced. So by having Dagrin first, he's silenced. No, it's really not bad to reach 80. I mean, if you wait till like days like today, where it's 3 times player XP and 12 times materials drops, I mean, today's the day to be out grinding. Like, you're getting a free 3x XP boost, load up on stamina and quick loot keys, and just quick loot, just spam for a couple of hours. Like, literally, I was level 54 on my alt in one evening, or actually in one afternoon, I got from 54 to 70. And then later that evening, I got from 70 to 80. So I mean, it's monotonous. It's a lot of sitting here just spam for a long period of time. But it's not hard. And then periodically you go through and level up your heroes and move to a little bit higher dungeon or something like that. But really, just it's just a spam fest to get there, and just picking the right times. The thing is, so what level are you right now? You're in the 60s? Or what level were you at? So here I kill Valken because Emily can't res. Well, and I appreciate the support and everything too. I mean, it's a relatively new channel, so I'm hoping to grow it up. Although I'm going to keep the same format. Like I'm like a tutor or a trainer or a mentor or whatever by personality. Like this kind of thing, being able to give people straight up advice and help people get better at stuff. I just enjoy doing it. So and I don't ever expect to be like hundreds of people watching my stream or anything like that. Like I like the fact that when I turn on my stream, there's people that come out to hang out, even if it's only a few. Like that to me makes it worth being here. So okay, this particular scenario. So I killed Valken round 1. Now I want to make sure that Emily doesn't res this round. So that's once again where Deadeye comes in. Solar Shot. If you're not familiar with this, Solar Shot is an armor-piercing ranged physical attack with a chance to blind, which is basically a really big attack and defense debuff. And it reduces the target's energy by 1. In theory, it just reduces the target's energy by 1, and behind the scenes, I'm sure that it actually does that, but it seems to do more. So basically, it's almost like a 1-round silence, where they just, even if like Emily had festives, or technically this is round 2 and Emily didn't cast anything round 1, so Emily should have the energy for this. I'm going to hit Emily with Solar Shot, and she is not going to res Valken. Granted, now she won't live long enough, but she wouldn't cast res on Valken. Well, she will live. Except I'm just going to go ahead and leave her alone because I'm fine with it. So she does a basic attack. Doesn't even try to res anybody. That Solar Shot was all that it took. So they've got the Aegis Shield, so now I'm just going to go ahead, silence again, kill Emily, make sure he can't heal, and just finish it off. So that's why, like, I don't know if you've looked at the meta video or anything like that, but that's why Deadeye is rated an S. He is a superior hero by far. So Deadeye, Valken is an S, Jin is an SS, like even above Valken, and then Therend is a really solid A+ kind of. So yeah, To go ahead and switch back to the Zen team. So we are looking at Indigo, Zen, who is here, Falcon, and against this team we'll go Therend. Well, no, it's Emily, we'll go Jin. And I'll be putting out videos on Indigo, Zen, and Craw probably over the next couple of days this week too, so keep your eyes peeled for those. All but one, yeah. Gibber is only 4 or 5 star. The rest of my library is all 6 stars, including Jin and Craw and everybody else. I don't have all of the epics maxed, but I have most of the epics maxed. They're all fully ascended and everything like that. On this account, on my alt, not so much. And I intentionally, like, I have a bunch of heroes on my alt. Matter of fact, I'll log in and show you real quick. So my alt is the complete opposite. We'll let up that instance of Nox. And switch. Oops, what am I doing? Besides wrecking the display. There we go. Just wanted to move it. So this is a tip as you're leveling up. So it's hard to say, and there's no hard numbers at all that say exactly how much roster power affects matchmaking or your towers or anything like that. All that we know for sure is that it does affect it, and that's it. We don't know how much or anything like that. So to give you an idea, the roster power of Sir Gravy is about 535,000, something like that. The roster power of my alt, GravyTrain, oops, not friends, is 136,000. So by keeping this low, I get much better matchmaking. And you can see here the way that I'm doing that is I've unlocked all of these heroes. I haven't summoned any of them because, I mean, I'm VIP 10, so I get half of their level automatically. Like you can see, I've never done anything with Igorok or Krex. They were full unlocks automatically. But by not even summoning these heroes, they're not affecting my roster power at all. And even these heroes here, like I haven't leveled them up. The only heroes that I actually have anything on are the heroes that I'm using. So, and actually it looks like I've got pieces missing of some of them. So, like the heroes that I'm actually doing stuff with, I have. But this account, like my Jin, is only 4 star. My Agnon's only 5 star. My Sifu's 6. My Deadeye's 6. Hagrim's 6. Lily. My Therend is only 3 star. Emily, Valken are both 6-star, but my Iris is 6-star. But just the tunes that I've like really made an effort. My Dagran's only 3-star. Like the tunes that I've gone out of my way to level up are the only ones that I've actually leveled up, ascended, put runes on, anything like that. And then I've got a bunch of heroes down here that I just haven't even unlocked. So I only have 57 heroes unlocked at all. To rank them up, well, some of them, like Jin, I was only able to like buy the deals as they would come up. Same with Craw. Matter of fact, my Jin was 1-star until those 2 days that they had the doorbuster deals. I grabbed the Craw ones and I grabbed the Jin ones, and then I grabbed Jin tokens from the store when they had some special in the store, and that was it. Most of these heroes, like I had to spam portals to get like Valken and Iris. So it was like running when they were on the VIP portal or when they were on the heroic portal. I spent a lot of time spamming portals. Lily was in the VIP portal. Deadeye was in the VIP portal. Valken was in the VIP portal. Like those, I spent a lot of time that way. So I mean, effectively, I was grinding them. I mean, I was using gems and stuff like that to do it, but you can do it. I mean, it just takes longer if you're free to play, or if you're not spending like you're on a budget or whatever else. I mean, just have a plan of the heroes that you want to level. Don't level up heroes that you're not actually using, and have a plan on what heroes you're going to be using at each level. So when I started levels like 15 through 30 or 15 through 40, I was running an assassin team. So I had Matsu, was assassins and rogues. So I had Matsu, I had Abigail, I had Black Diamond, and I had Deadeye. And I was just kicking butt with assassins. Jin, it was quests to get the first one, the first star, or to unlock them. And then I had the two, like I said, the 2 doorbusters for 100 tokens a piece for 15 bucks. And then like gems and a few other things for that Black Friday sale. And then, because I mean, like I said, it was a couple of days ago that I got Jin up more than 1 star. So yeah, I mean, I think that was primarily it. Like, it's 150, 100, 250, 320. So I must have I got about 20 tokens from quests. I think I had gotten some I bought in the store for the last event with tickets. I think I got like 50 tokens with tickets. And yeah, I think during the Jin event was when I got any of the others. So I might have had, I was still only 1 star though, so I was at like 20. So it was probably just this last couple of things where they had those deals. And same thing with my Craw, like this Craw. My other hero, or my other account, I bought it, like straight up. It was, I had I had a 6-star Jin day 1. I had a 6-star Craw day 1. And by doing that, I mean, I'm very competitive in the guild and stuff like that, and that helped. I mean, we took 2nd or 3rd. We took, well, the Craw event, we would have taken 1st, but another guild found an exploit with Furnace, and they were able to just push, and it took us a while to figure it out, but we were legitimately kicking butt. So I had the Craw there, and then for the Jin event, we did come in 2nd. Was it 2nd or 3rd? I think it was 2nd. I don't remember. I think it was second. And yeah, I mean, Potato Army is just, they've got so many resources, so it's really kind of hard to beat them. Not saying we won't, but it's hard to. So yeah. Cool, yeah, definitely. Glad you came out. Thanks for coming out and keeping me company. Subscribe, hit the little bell so you know when I'm on. I'm going to try to post, like, schedule these. So like today I had it scheduled for 9 Eastern. I would have been on sooner, but my power was out. So so yeah, just check back periodically. If you got questions, just leave a note on the wall, something like that, or message me online or whatever. So thanks for coming out. I'm going to go ahead and call it now as well. Have a great night. Thanks everybody for hanging out, and we'll talk to you soon. I'll have videos coming out the next couple of days too. Take care. Awesome. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Talk to you soon. Have a great night.